Hello, everybody. You ever heard of a serial killer named Richard Ramirez? No, not that guy. This Richard Ramirez, he was known as the Night Stalker. And unlike his more famous namesake, Richard Ramirez, who was known as the Night Stalker, he was actually Hispanic. Ramirez went on a crime spree in 1984 and 1985 in California, terrorizing the residents of Los Angeles with a series of murders, rapes, robberies, and burglaries. His reign of terror came to an end when he was finally caught and sentenced to 27 life sentences without the possibility of parole. Ramirez's crimes were so heinous that even his fellow inmates at Corcoran State Prison wanted him dead. One inmate, who shared a cell with Ramirez for a time, later said, "I never seen an inmate hated as much by other inmates as Ramirez. He was hated by everybody, all races, all nationalities. He didn't associate with anybody. He just laid in his bunk and talked to himself." It was NT until 2013 that Ramirez's crimes made headlines again when it was discovered that one of his victims had been a childhood friend of actress and singer Selena Gomez. It was also revealed that Ramirez had been a suspect in the 1970 for slaying of a 22-year-old woman named Mary and beating her. But because of a lack of evidence, the case remained unsolved for decades. In 1984, Ramirez went on a 3-day crime spree in which he committed a series of home invasions, sexual assaults, and murders in Los Angeles County. His victims were primarily elderly people who lived alone, and he would often target them in their own homes. He would break in, tie them up, and demand money and jewelry. If they didn't have any valuables, he would simply take their cash and then leave. But if they did have something of value, he would take that as well. After hearing about the crimes being committed by the Night Stalker, two detectives, Lou Anyobject and Gil Carollo, began to investigate. They put together a task force of over 100 officers and detectives to try and catch him. Despite the large sum of manpower dedicated to finding the perp, it took nearly a year for the task force to get a lead in the case. On August 31, 1985, Ramirez was spotted by a grocery store clerk and an off-duty police officer. A week later, on September 6, 1985, Ramirez was arrested after a traffic stop for a misdemeanor. When the arresting officers ran his license plate, they discovered that it was stolen. Soon after, Ramirez was linked to 13 murders, 11 of which had been committed in Los Angeles County and to in Orange County. Richard Ramirez died in prison on June 7, 2013 from complications related to HIV or AIDS. He was 53 years old. Do you think Richard Ramirez got what he deserved? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to hear more about infamous criminals, stay tuned for more content.